Shorty. How you doing today?
So what's going on? How you doing?
All right, all right. So coming back at us real
Right
quick.
back.
Not even a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
week
not even a
later.
whole week. Not even a whole week.
Lots going on, huh?
This is Around the World of Sports, week 21.
Okay.
And there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got my Jets hat on.
I see.
The Aaron Rodgers trade is finally official.
Okay.
Finally.
I mean, that
That's
only
the first
took-
thing I
wow.
thought when the trade broke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, finally.
Mm-hmm.
They've been talking for weeks. It's ridiculous. But the trade finally went through.
Mm-hmm.
Let me break it down real quick. Jets get Aaron Rodgers, of course. They get the 15th pick. And they get the 170th pick from Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay gets the 13th pick. They get the 42nd pick. They get the 207th pick. And they also get a 2024 second round conditional pick. Which basically means that pick becomes a first round pick if Rodgers is involved in 65% of the plays for the Jets.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's a lot to keep track
it's a
of.
lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I had to read it a couple times to break it down myself.
A lot going on here.
But that's the simplest way I can break it down.
Okay.
I think the Jets overpaid a little bit for him.
Of course.
That's just how I feel. Some people will say it's a great trade. My thing is this. This is contingent. How I feel is very contingent on if the Jets can win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets can win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers within the next 2 years if he decides to play 2 years. And they win a Super Bowl, then this is a great trade.
Right.
And I don't think the Jets overpaid at all. But if Aaron Rodgers only plays one season and the Jets are not even in Super Bowl contention, they got to at least make the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they win it or not, they got to at least get there.
Right.
If they don't at least get there, to me, the trade is a failure.
Right.
Because you traded a lot of your draft pick compensation or your draft pick potential.
Right.
For a 39-year-old quarterback who would be 40. Who'll be 40. I mean,
say that again, huh?
He'll be 40.
Oh, one more time.
He'll be
for the
40.
back row.
Yeah. If you didn't hear me, he'd be 40. And he already had one foot out the door thinking about retirement.
Correct.
He wasn't even sure if he wanted to play. So all of that gives me pause.
Right.
Now, if he reverts back to the old Aaron Rodgers, the MVP Aaron Rodgers, which is not likely, but it's possible. If he reverts back to that, then yeah, this could be great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just about his talent. He has talent, but he didn't have a great year last year. Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's him regressing or if that's just he didn't really want to be in Green Bay.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
A lot of times you don't know what Aaron Rodgers is thinking. Sometimes I don't know if he knows what he's thinking.
Okay.
But he's a very talented quarterback. He's a proven quarterback. But one more thing, he's an upgrade over Zach Wilson. Let's not get that twisted.
Okay.
He's much better than Zach Wilson, so I think the Jets will be a better team.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, they'll be a better team. The team is set up to win now.
Mm-hmm.
As I go back to my original opinion, I thought Lamar Jackson would be a better fit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another story for another day. Even though I've been consistent with that, I always thought that we should go after Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a Jet fan. Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him to be very successful. I'm rooting for him to for the chemistry to be good between him and the other players on the team. I think that's very important. I hope he tries to get to know his teammates, and doesn't set himself aside. I hope he really tries to immerse himself into the team concept. And I hope him and Robert Salah, Coach Salah, will have a good bond and will be able to take this team as far as they can possibly go.
Right.
Because I think the Jets have a lot of potential. I just don't want Aaron Rodgers to mess it up. Go in there and be part of the team and elevate the team. That's all we can ask for. But we have to be a real Super Bowl contender. If that's not the case, to me, it's a waste.
Right.
So we'll leave it there on that topic. To be continued. But we'll see how Aaron Rodgers does with the Jets. Moving on. The Detroit Lions gambling scandal. Which broke about a week to a week and a half ago. We got 4 Detroit Lions players involved and 1 Washington Commanders player involved. This is kind of nuanced for me, so I'm going to break it down into 2 different sections.
Okay.
You have Quintez Cephas, the Lions receiver. You got C.J. Moore, Lions safety. And you got Shaka Toney, Commanders defensive end. They will be suspended all of next season for gambling or placing bets on NFL games. You're NFL players. Why are you placing bets on NFL games? So, honestly, I get their suspension. They will be suspended for the whole year. They can try to get reinstated after that. Who knows if the NFL will want to deal with them after that?
Right.
That remains to be seen. Apparently, the Commanders want Shaka Toney back after he serves his suspension, but we shall see. A lot changes in football.
Right.
So who knows? The Detroit Lions, they already basically are done with C.J. Moore and Quintez Cephas. So if they do come back, it'll be for other teams. Okay, those 3 players, I feel like they should be suspended for the year.
Okay.
Don't have a problem with it. You can't be an NFL player betting on NFL games.
Correct.
You compromise the integrity of the game when you do that. So I have no issue with that. What I do have an issue with is Jameson Williams, Lions receiver, Stanley Berryhill, also Lions receiver. They both were suspended for 6 games. But they were betting on college football, which is legal. They can bet on other sports. The reason why they got suspended is because they were betting at the team facility.
Right.
Which is illegal. Now, being that it's legal for them to bet on college football games, and it's not legal for them to bet at the team facility, which I don't even know if they knew that, I think 6 games is a little harsh, me personally, because they're betting on college games. Another reason why I think it's a little harsh is because of the NFL hypocrisy. The NFL makes a lot of money off of sports betting, which is now legal throughout the country. The NFL constantly runs ads on sports betting. Some NFL teams have sports books in their stadiums. You have the NFL has 4 partnerships with online sports betting companies. So the NFL is making a gang of money off of these online sports betting companies. But yet it tells the players that you cannot bet it. You can't bet on the team facility, probably on the team planes and all that type of stuff, which to me is kind of hypocritical. I get, don't bet on your own sport when it comes to your organization in terms of the NFL. Who knows we don't even know if these players were betting on their own games, but it doesn't matter. You can't bet on NFL games when you're an NFL player. To me, that's cut and dry. But when you're betting on college football games, it just so happens that you did it on your facility, maybe you give these guys a warning. Don't bet on any games at the facility. You can bet on college games when you go home. You can do all that if you want to. But I think 6 game suspensions are kind of harsh for guys that were betting on a different sport. Just so happens they were doing it at work. It's wrong. Maybe you suspend them 1 game, maybe 2 games. I think 6 games is a lot, especially for an organization or the NFL, a league that makes a whole bunch of money off of betting. To me, it's kind of hypocritical.
Well, it's kind of similar to a lot of workplaces have in their policy no gambling on the premises.
No, listen.
So you
like
know,
I said, it's
not
wrong.
unique to the NFL.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that I believe that 6 games is kind of harsh for that.
I know what you're. I hear what you're saying. I mean, I can see where you're coming from with that, but I think there are a lot of employers that would not even suspend people, would just fire them on the spot. And because it's part of the workplace policy, and again, they're probably businesses that they themselves make a lot of money on this type of activity. But if it's in the policy, I think that part, those guys' suspension might be more of a employer policy issue more so than the actual activity itself, perhaps.
Yeah, but
Possibly.
a lot of employer policies.
We know.
There's a lot of loopholes in a lot of
Yes.
those policies, so you can make the decision that you want to make.
You can.
They
You
made
can
the
always make the
decision.
case by
You
case
can
decision.
always
Yes,
decide.
that is correct.
You don't have to treat, a half as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my stance on it. Obviously, I can understand that there's other opinions,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. Like, my show is not just about my opinion. It's about my opinion, but
it definitely starts with
it
your
starts with my
opinion.
opinion, but I'm always open to discussions about my opinion.
Yeah.
As my opinion is not final. My opinion is just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. It just means that's my stance on the investigations that I do.
Right. Yeah, folks out there, sound off in the comments below. What's your opinion on these suspensions?
Yeah, I just think it's a twofold situation. I think the three guys that I first mentioned, I think they deserve this suspension.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2, I just believe their suspensions are a little harsh for what they did.
Right, right,
Especially if they're first-time offenders.
right.
And it seems to be that they're first-time offenders.
And to be clear, my counter opinion is only referring to the second 2.
The second
not
2.
the first 2.
Right.
Yes.
The first 3.
3, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I can see where this could be a touchy subject, and I can see where a lot of opinions can be very different on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm open to hear other people's opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my take on it, but you may have a different take. And your take may be valid. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be interested to see what other people have to say about it.
Indeed.
But that's just my take on it. Moving on.
Moving on.
Last weekend, Gervonta Tank Davis
Ooh-wee.
fought Ryan King Garcia.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, he did.
Yeah, he fought him. He fought him all right. As I said in one of my previous videos, I think it was the last one, Tank was going to win. I had Tank winning by knockout in the 10th round. He did it in 7. Body shot to the liver. Body shot to the liver. Tank was winning most of the rounds prior to this shot. He knocked him out. He knocked him down earlier in the fight, and Tank finished him in the 7th. It was a good body shot. To me, it didn't even look that heavy, but it was heavy enough. And Ryan Garcia continued to fight a little bit, and then he went down. And that was it. He couldn't get back up. Those liver shots are treacherous. And if you get hit by a really good one, it's very hard to recover. And Ryan could not recover. Tank wanted him to get up, but Ryan said no. No mas.
No mas.
No mas. One thing that was said at the end of the fight, which I thought was interesting, people are now calling Tank the face of boxing. Let me know what y'all think about that.
Yeah, sound off in the comments.
Let me know what
below.
you think about that.
That's an interesting statement they're putting out there.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe he's the face of boxing. I think since Floyd Mayweather left boxing, I don't think there's any face of boxing per se. I think there's a number of guys that are contenders for the face of boxing, but I just think Tank is one of them. I don't think he's the face of boxing, but I do think he's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You got Canelo. I think Canelo is definitely one of the faces of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tyson Fury.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyson Fury is definitely one of the faces of boxing. You got Bud Crawford. He's one.
Mm-hmm.
You got Errol Spence Jr. He's one. Hopefully they get in the ring and fight it out, and we can really see who's the one.
Right. We can choose. Well, at least
We
choose
can
between
choose
the two
between
of them.
those two, because I don't know which one is better yet.
Exactly.
We got Shakur Stevenson,
Mm-hmm.
who I think is a candidate for face of boxing. Even though I think he can be. I don't know if he's quite there yet.
Not just yet.
But not yet.
Definitely
But
the potential is there.
clearly, I like Shakur Stevenson
We
a
can
lot.
see, right?
I
mean,
like
come on.
him a lot.
I don't think his hat is ready to be in.
Yeah, but
yet.
I think he's getting
He's
there.
getting there,
I
but
think
he's
he's
not
getting.
there yet, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We're talking about today.
I use the eye test. I like what I see,
Okay.
and I've seen enough for me personally. I understand other people don't think he's proven yet, but that's not what I see.
But we're not even talking about being proven. We're talking about being
a
the face of boxing.
Yeah,
I mean, if you and I can agree that we wouldn't call Tank the face of boxing, by the same standards, I think we can agree that we cannot, at this moment, call Shakur Stevenson the face of boxing.
my thing, I don't call him the face of boxing. I say I put him in the running.
In the running.
I put him in the running.
But being in the running of something means you could be.
Yeah, I think he's on his way.
No, you could be out of, if we had to pick one of these today.
Well, I wouldn't pick him today.
No.
I wouldn't pick him today, but
I
I got to put him in there.
All right.
That's just me.
All right.
Devin Haney's another guy that I like what I see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's quite there, but let's put it this way: Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, they're my honorable mentions.
Okay,
They're my honorable mentions
agree
because
with that.
I could see them being the face of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not there yet, but Canelo is.
Canelo is.
Tyson Fury is.
Right. These guys are there.
Terrence
so
Bud Crawford is.
It's not quite the same.
Errol
Right?
Spence Jr. is.
They definitely are.
You know, but yeah. Shakur, I see him coming.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney, I see him coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's no disrespect to Shakur.
No, it's not, because they're great fighters.
Right.
It's just face of boxing is a lot.
Right. That's
It's
a
lot.
strong title.
It is a strong title. Those guys probably haven't been in enough high profile fights yet to really put them on that level.
Mm-hmm.
But I like what I like.
Mm-hmm.
That's the eye test for me. I like what I see in those guys a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But again, obviously Canelo is a much bigger fighter. Tyson Fury is a much bigger fighter. Crawford, Spence, they're bigger fighters, just in their popularity and their accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those guys would be more the face of boxing if there was. I personally don't think there's a face of boxing.
Right.
Let me just get that out there. I don't think there is one. But if there was to be one, it would be one of those guys. I think Tank is close. I think Tank it could be one of them. After this fight, he probably could be one of them. I wouldn't solidify him as the face of boxing. I don't think I could solidify any of these guys as the face. But that's just my take. Let me know what you guys think about that. Another thing I want to see, and I was telling you this, I think after the fight, I wouldn't mind seeing Tank versus Shakur Stevenson.
You did say that.
I don't really hear a lot of people bringing those two names up.
That would be interesting.
I would like to see those guys fight.
That would definitely be interesting.
Definitely two different styles. Tank is a come at you, powerful guy with speed, and Shakur Stevenson's defense is crazy. It's hard to hit that guy. So I don't know how that fight would go.
But you would like.
But I would like to see it.
And I would like to see it.
I would like to see it.
And let us know in the comments below. Would you like to see it as well, folks?
Right. Yeah, let us know. Next topic. Houston Rockets hired Ime Udoka as their next coach.
Okay.
I believe in second chances.
Yes.
And I'm glad that he got hired.
Indeed.
I'm glad he got hired. I'm glad the NBA family just didn't, basically blacklist him, for lack of a better term. Houston Rockets, they got a young, unproven, but talented team. They got a very talented team. Ime Udoka had a lot of success with the Celtics, and he's a teaching coach. He's a tough coach. He holds his players accountable. And I think he'll do a good job with the Houston Rockets. So shout out to Ime Udoka, and hopefully he has a good run with the Houston Rockets. Hopefully the team gives him a chance, though, to really make this team a good team. I hope he allows him to develop. The team allows him to develop these guys. Because a lot of times with coaches sometimes is you get the job, the team is not good. You should not win a lot of games, especially the first year or two.
Right.
And they get rid of the coach
Right.
like it's the coach's
Like
fault.
it's his fault.
Right. Give him 4 or 5 years to develop this team. At least give him 3 years to develop this team. I hope that's what they do. I hope they give him time to really develop this young team. And if the ping pong balls go their way, they might get Victor Wembanyama, who's considered a generational talent coming into the NBA.
Okay.
Like Houston Rockets were one of the worst teams, so they have a chance of actually getting him. If they get him, that puts him on a faster track, most likely. So, again, shout out to Ime Udoka for getting another job in the NBA. Next, my New York Knicks. Had a big win this weekend. Big win on Sunday. Knicks now lead the Cavs 3-1. Very happy about that. I think they're going to actually get past the first round. This has been a long time coming, y'all. A long time coming.
Get past that first
They
round.
get past that first round. That means everything to me right now. Get past the first round. That's very special to me. It's very special to me, y'all. I've been a suffering Knicks fan for a long time. Get past that first round. Get in the playoffs, get past the first round. They got in the playoffs, get past this first round. Anything's possible, but get past the first round. They're well on their way. They had a great game on Sunday. But I want to talk about Julius Randle. He had a poor game. 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Not very Julius Randle-like numbers. Fairness to him, he's apparently battling a sprained ankle, which he had before the season.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he had that before the season started.
Wow.
And I think he came back a little early from the sprained ankle. It doesn't really look to be hurting him that much on the court, but it doesn't mean that it's not bothering him. It doesn't mean that it's not limiting him. So in fairness to him, I do want to mention that.
Yeah.
But he was benched in the fourth quarter because he wasn't playing well. Coach Tibbs normally doesn't bench Julius Randle. But he benched him in the fourth quarter in favor of Obi Toppin. What stood out to me is that Julius Randle did not speak to the media after the game, which players are obligated to speak to the media. It's part of their duties as NBA players. Then sometimes players do skip out on media sessions, but generally that's after a loss. The Knicks won the game. Why do you not want to speak to the media? Because you got benched? Like, I don't know. Like, you weren't playing well.
Or do you think it might have been because he was hurt?
Players go up there. If you can be in the game, you can speak to the media.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with being hurt.
Or
If you can't sit at a desk,
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, if you can't sit at a desk, you can't play on the court. That's how I look at it. All you're doing is talking. But apparently he did not feel like answering questions. But it's a team game. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Your team won. Even though you didn't play well, you should still be happy that your team won. It just looked a little fishy that he skipped out on the media session after. Like, players go up and do their media obligations when they lose and they play poorly. They still go up there and they speak to the reporters. I just saw that as a little foul that he didn't go speak to them, especially after if the team lost. I could see, and he didn't play well. I could see, okay, you're not in the mood to answer these questions because you might say something you don't want to say. But your team won. You just didn't play well. It's one game. It can happen. I'm not even so mad that he didn't play well. I mean, I'm not mad. I just thought it just stood out to me that he didn't fulfill his media obligation after the game. After a win. Next game's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Hopefully close out Cleveland in Cleveland. That'd be nice. Move on to the second round. That'd be good. And Julius Randle can get some rest.
And what do you think, how do you feel the second round is going to go if they get there?
I don't want to talk about that yet. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes.
I mean, we don't get no predictions? No predictions from Sporty Shorty?
Not yet.
Oh, man.
Can we get past the first round? Listen.
One round at a time.
Yeah, don't put the cart
One
before the horse.
game at a time.
Hey, one game at a time. We're still in the first round. Let's get out of the first round.
Okay.
I'm not looking ahead. I'm looking at right now.
Oh, okay.
We will look ahead when we get to the second round. We will look ahead then.
All right.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't even want to do that yet.
Okay.
Next, I want to talk about Victor Oladipo.
Okay.
Victor Oladipo is a guard on the Miami Heat. He tore his patella tendon in his left knee over the weekend.
No, that sounds painful.
It's a bad injury. Victor Oladipo has been marred by injuries the second half of his career. First half of his career, he was an all-star. He was an all-star with the Indiana Pacers. And I feel bad for him because he seemed to be like a really, really good dude.
Yeah.
Really good dude. But like I said, his career has been marred by injuries. In Game 3, Heat versus Bucks, he injured that knee. It's going to require surgery. And the torn patella tendon surgery is normally a 1-year surgery. So he's going to probably miss all of next season. I wish him the best because he's a good dude. So prayers out to Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. He's only 31 years old, so I'm hoping he can come back and resume his NBA career.
Yeah.
If not, Victor Oladipo is a really good singer. I've heard him.
Okay.
Listen, I heard him. He can sing. He can sing. I've heard him sing a few times. He's actually sung on NBA courts before. But if he's looking for a second career, he might want to pursue his singing career if he wants to do that. But anyway, I hope he does come back. He wants to come back. So I hope he comes back and is able to resume his career and be successful. Because like I said, he seems like a really good dude. So I'm rooting for him. So shout out to Victor Oladipo and his speedy recovery.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We're going to leave it right there.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by with this recap here because I know there was a lot of stuff going on.
It was a lot.
Even while we were last filming on Friday.
Yes.
So it's good that you came back and didn't wait a whole week to give us your take on
I
these
definitely wanted to get this video
developments. Good. Thank you. Well, yeah, like we said, folks, sound off in the comments below. What do you think about Sporty Shorty's opinions in this video today? Like the video, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, indeed. Peace.